Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at Train Sim 2020. There's a big sale on right now. It's March Madness. It started today at 1 o'clock. It was kind of funny. I was playing Train Sim 2020, just kind of goofing around a little bit and looking at some of the DLCs. I'm like, wow, you know, they're so expensive and I just can't afford any of these. And literally I started looking at 12. I had no idea there was going to be a sale on today. And so at 1 o'clock, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put some of these in my favorite list so I can see when they go on sale. And half of them were on sale. And I'm like, what the? So I bought the Horseshoe Curve. This video tonight, it's going to be a little bit longer, but we're going to take a look at, we're going to run a couple scenarios, take a look at what these DLCs come with, and have a little bit of fun. So we have this Horseshoe Curve route that was, I think, $4.99 or $5.99. I got a Norfolk Southern high hood SD40-2. They call it high nose. It's not a high nose, it's a high hood. We have a Norfolk Southern SD45 high hood. And then we also have the Norfolk Southern Coal District route and the Norfolk Southern Big 76. Right, or no, I'm sorry, Big 7s. 76, oh my gosh. These are the 7 series, like the Dash 7 General Electric diesels. I think they're either General Motors or General Electric. I can't remember which, but basically these were like the backbone of, you know, Norfolk Southern line for the heavy hauling across the country, or the long, like the road trains. These were the workhorses, and then now they use Dash 8s and mostly actually Dash 9s. I don't think the Dash 8s are even in existence. Is there a Dash 10? I don't know. I haven't kept up with railroading lately, so but I know that these have been replaced. They probably don't even have any of these in service anymore, but it was exciting to see these. And what I found so far is that the hang on a sec. Whoops, wrong button. What I found so far is that the Big 7 is nice because it actually has some scenarios for the coal district. These high hoods, the SD45, I believe it also does. We'll take a look in the game. I have not found a place, to be honest with you, for this SD42 high hood. I don't see where it's coming into the game. I've been through my scenarios and stuff. It might go on routes that I don't own, which sucks. But it was only $1. And then the Horseshoe Curve, obviously, I'm pretty sure that these SD45s show up on the Horseshoe Curve in certain scenarios. So this one goes with that. And the Norfolk Southern Coal District has the Big 7s that have at least one mission that go. I think there's 3 missions that go with it. And then we also have the workshop where you can download people's own, like people make scenarios for these routes and stuff. And so you can download stuff there. There's not a whole lot out there for these routes that I purchased today, but I'm a big Norfolk Southern fan. I grew up near a Norfolk Southern line, and you know, spent my life watching the Black Beauties go by. So it was exciting to finally get some Norfolk Southern stuff in the game because I haven't had any. You know, the game, I had a Castle Rock and the Cajun Pass. So let's go ahead and take a look at these DLCs and have some fun with them. Okay, so here's my first big beef. When we go into free roam, and this is where I like to play a lot of times, you can pick the engine that you want and you can pick the route that you want. You'll notice that there's nothing available for our coal route. That kind of stinks. I'll never remember the right name for it. It's the, there it is, Coal District. Here we have standard, and there's two different ones. There's one with our GE C36, and one the standard one. This is from our what do you call it? This is from our DLC with the Big 7s, and this is included with the route. But once again, there's only these 2 available in standard. And then if we go into career, even with the ones that I found online, there are a lot of scenarios out there, but they require you have like a ton of different DLCs. And so I was a little frustrated with that. So the Norfolk and Southern Coal District, there's the ones that it came with. So we have, this is part of the DLC that I bought. It's got the Dash 7s in it. And then we also have this with the ACs, the ES44s. So there's a lot of cool scenarios here, and then a couple more for that signal to signal, the horsepower, typical work. So They are out there, but let's take a look at the engines right now. I really wish, like Train Sim World, this had a way you could feature each engine, but it doesn't. So we have to deal with that. But we have, here's our B36-7 high nose, our B36-7 low nose. There's the high nose there and the low nose. I call them high hoods, but apparently they call them something else. So, and then we have the C36. So these are the B36 and the C36. Not sure what the differences are between the engines. I don't know, but there you go. I'm looking close. The difference is that the C36 has 6 axles and the B36 has 4 axles. So there you go. And then also we have, okay, so here on the SD45 pack, we have 3 different SD45s. We've got Norfolk Southern SD45. We have Norfolk and Western SD45, which was the predecessor. And we go all the way back to before, which was the SD45 from Southern Railway. So obviously Norfolk and Western and Southern merged and became Norfolk and Southern. And so here's my great problem. The SD40 that I bought with the high nose is not showing up in the game at all. I've gone through all of my different routes that are American. We have the SD45 again, but we don't have the SD40. It's just not showing up. So for some reason, that engine just doesn't work. I'm going to have to get my money back. It was only like $1, but I am going to return it. So, but yeah, so that one's a dud. But the other 2 packs are cool. So let's go ahead and have some fun on these 2 different railways, and we'll see the engines that we have with both with the original and the DLC. Also worth honorable mention before we move on, Marius Pass is on sale. Marius Pass comes all the way back from the days of Microsoft Train Simulator, which was the first computer train simulator out there. And I played many, many happy hours on Marius Pass. Now, Marius Pass, because it's a popular route, has a ton of downloadable scenarios. So if you look here, if I go down through the list and I look at Marius Pass, you can see all of these scenarios are available, and I got all these off the workshop, and there's many, many more, not just what I've downloaded here. There's a whole bunch of them. So, you know, feel free to go through the workshop and see what you can find. It's a little hard to navigate. Sometimes the workshop crashes, but anyway, we have a whole host of different scenarios available, and so Marius Pass is a good purchase. It was only $4.99, so that's worth getting too, because when I bought it, it was almost $50. So it's a good time to grab Marius Pass too. All right, so here we are with our gorgeous B36, and behind it we have a C36 slashed up, and then behind that is a high-hooded B36. So we've got all 3 variations of this Dash 7 engine in there. I don't think they even call, I think they call it the Big 7. I don't know that they call them Dash 7s. Like, I think that really started with the Dash 8. Ditch lights are forward. We'll put on the rear headlight dim. Front headlights are on all the way. And let's go ahead and take the brake off. And we're going to go ahead and put the throttle on. And we're going to start moving up. Put the throttle on too. Now we have ditch lights, but I can't really get to them until we put the throttle way up. There we go. And they have 2 modes. They have on and flashing. And the game is, I know it's not super loud on the recording, but in my ears it's really loud. And, one of the things I love about Train Sim over Train Sim World is that you can do the zoom in camera from the side of the tracks. Now, you can't move the camera around, I think, unless you do, maybe use a shift control. No, I don't know what it does it, but sometimes I think there's a way to move this camera, but I don't remember how to do it. But anyway, you can get these cool, like, zoomed in views, and I haven't, Train Sim World doesn't do that, so you can see we're leaving the coal facility. I think you can actually go in there and load the cars with coal. I'm not sure. Once again, this is kind of a first look for me. But I just wanted to kind of share with you that these things are on sale today and for the next couple days. And so if you play Train Sim and you like Norfolk Southern and haven't grabbed these routes and things already, now's your chance to get them pretty dang cheap. Once again, when you compare the graphics to Train Sim World, it's a little bit on the dodgy side, a little bit low res. But you know what? It still works well. If you have an older computer, it works fine on older computers. I don't really like this. I'm going to turn this off when I get a chance. I don't really like the way that it zooms in and out. Like, you can see outside the windows it's in focus. Now it's in focus on the train and blurry outside. I guess that kind of makes it feel a little bit realistic, but oh, I forgot to turn the number boards on. There we go. My wife just crashed her train. She's playing Train Sim World right now. So if you hear some swearing and yelling in the background, it's her crashing her train. Oh, you crossed the red? Oops. So the Norfolk Southern Coal District route takes place in Pennsylvania. I think that's pretty obvious where we are. Norfolk Southern runs through Ohio, Pennsylvania, and, well, most of the country, really, from the or eastern seaboard, I guess. Most of the eastern side of the United States has Norfolk Southern somewhere in it. They definitely have a big operation. Norfolk Western was all Pennsylvania, and they have a big operation in Pennsylvania. So that's what we're doing. There we go. Speed limit's 25 now, so we can pump up the juice. So this route is gorgeous, and right now for $5, it's worth it. $20, I think, is the normal asking price. I wouldn't pay $20 for anything in Train Sim right now because it's an old game, and it's being replaced by Train Sim World, and so. But they're still making DLCs for this. I mean, I don't know that they'll ever stop. There's over $10,000 of DLCs in the shop for this game, so. It definitely has not lost its popularity, and I think a lot of people are just, you know, not wanting to switch over to Train Sim World. Plus, this one does things that Train Sim does not do, and that includes really long trains and really long routes. This route is a small route at about 60 miles. Yeah, you heard me right, 60 miles. The average Train Sim World route's like 20 to 25 miles or less. So this one really has some serious trackage, and I really wish that we could have that with Train Sim World, but I just don't think the engine can handle what this one does. So you'll see much longer freight trains. This game is really much more suited to freight operations, and I know a lot of people are talking Run 8. When I get some money, I'll take a look at Run 8. Attention, a train will cross you at the opposite at the fork. So we're going to actually back down a little bit on the throttle here and allow ourselves to slow down because I don't want to get a head-on with that train coming up the rails. Sometimes the number 4 camera doesn't do great, but there we go. But once again, this view, this is like the classic train spotter view that people that go out with their cameras, you know, they're looking for. The horn's a little anemic. Anyway, I'm looking forward to playing on this route. Once again, I enjoy freight operations over passenger operations, and that is one of the strong suits of Train Sim 2020. So we have the Canadian National route now on Train Sim 20 and also San Jose. I'm going to take a look at that one too. I just purchased that today because it was on sale for half off, so or 40% off. So between the San Jose route and CSX Heavy Haul and the Canadian National, we now have 3 nice routes. But once again, they're shorter. They're not as long as the routes are in Train Sim 2020. So, I don't know. It's a trade-off. You lose graphics, but you get more to play with. And then, once again, Run 8 has about the same graphics as Train Sim 2020 does, but it's multiplayer and it has, you know, some great routes, but also it's expensive like Train Sim 2020. So we're going to stay at about 10 miles an hour. I don't want to stall out. This is a pretty steep hill. You can see there, even at 50%, we're still losing speed. We're going to start slipping here in a minute. Man, I might have slowed down too much. I don't want to stop all the way. Oh crap, I just shut the engine off. I meant to press the X key. Ah. Well, we're screwed now. I restarted it, but it ain't gonna start for a little bit. Whoops. We're coming to a halt. It'll start up, but come on, baby, start. Screwed. The local brake's on. We need the train brake on. Put on suppression. Oh man, this is a dangerous situation. Wow. Okay, it's running again. You're gonna bail off. I did it again. Wow. And that right there would have gotten me fired in real life. Yikes. Okay, she's running now. Sounds like all the engines are on, so we're going to go ahead and throttle up. Put the sander on, and we're going to bail off. And hopefully we'll get some traction here. We're on a really steep grade. Okay, we're starting to pull forward a little bit. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Put the brake on. There we go. That might have done it. We're going to get some wheel slip, but we need to get this train moving forward. We don't want too much wheel slip. So 62% is what we're going to take with the, I have the sander on right now, so trying to get this thing started up again. Yeah, there's some graphical glitches with Train Sim 2020. We should see that oncoming train pretty soon. I mean, it's not a, this is bad. We definitely don't want to stall like this. And I don't know that we'll ever get our speed back. Hopefully we will. We're at 2.4 miles an hour. But we are moving forward, so at least we're headed in the right direction. Wow. My wife is laughing at me. Thank you. So once again, the bell's a little bit anemic. I'm not super sold on the bell sound on the train. It's like, what, babe? I bet. All right, we're up to 5 miles an hour, so it's good. We're starting to gain speed here. That pusher in the back's working his best. Working. Yeah, he's on too, so it's good. I mean, if we had gone at speed, we would have had to stop anyway. I've done part of the scenario before, and where you meet the other train, you have to stop there anyway because there's another train coming down the hill. So most of this track, from what I understand, is a single line rail. So this part here where we have two rails is not for most of the route. And at some point we'll take an in-depth look at this route, but I wanted to kind of just feature all of the DLCs that are on sale today. Well, the ones that I bought anyway. There's way more that are on sale, but you know, here he comes. Nope, still have to keep the sand on. I took the sand off. Nope, wrong one. Cool. Tell you what, I've been watching a lot of, see, now I can't get the camera to go anywhere else. Well, I've watched a lot of train videos where that's like the common view right here is this Norfolk Southern hoppers passing each other in the mountains of Pennsylvania. And we're up to 10 miles an hour, so that's good. You can hear the brakes coming on the other train as he's slowing down. But once again, this is what Train Sim 2020 does over Train Sim World, and that is heavy freight operations. We have a very long freight train pulling through here. And I've got a fairly long train myself, and you just don't see that in Train Sim World. You get 20 or 30 cars, here you get like 40, 50 cars. Not sure why that is, but... Anyway, pretty cool stuff. And I'm in the grass. There we go. We'll let it do one more pass as we take a look at the GP30 or the B36 locomotive here, and the C36 that's lashed up behind it, and the high hood B36 that's even behind that. All these dash 7s. There we go, and we're up to 14 miles an hour. We have the clear to move ahead. I take my note, we're still getting wheel slip, so we're gonna keep that sander on. So now let's take a look at one of the engines that came with this route. I think there's only 2 that came with the route. Let's take a look. All right, so we have our... Oops. We'll need you to take this train to Waynesburg. You'll be hauling empties today. Good luck! So this is the ES45. And we're going to go ahead and put it reversing forward. I'm going to chuck the headlights on. Let's see what we got here. What, babe? Forward headlights. Right, there we go. And we should see that on now. There we go, yep. Oh, and that turns the ditch lights on. Ooh, I like the horn on that. Turn that off. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, look, there's a train coming in. Ah, stupid focus thing. It's like focusing on the inside of the cab. All right, turn that off. The reverse is at 100%. Train brake is off. And we are moving out of the yard. See here, we have a nice big yard here. Better camera angle? Not available. Okay. Wow. We got a really quick tour there in stutter motion. Definitely having some frame rate issues, surprisingly. Now there they go, they cleared up. This has loaded in quite a bit of stuff though, so. I honestly don't know what the speed is, but I'm probably over it at this point. Let's see. No, 20. We're doing okay. We have one camera angle available in the air. Wow, interesting. I think they have to place it along the route, the guys that designed the routes, so. Look at this town, though. This is pretty cool. Once again, not the Train Sim World quality, but still, not bad. My wife is laughing at me again. You're so mean. Ah, the train goes right down the center line of these people's street. That's kind of interesting. Hope you guys like having a train in your front yard. I kind of like this, actually. I got one in my back. I love it, actually. So, yeah. Do you guys love it? Let's see. Any other angles? Nope, 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 nope. Shut up. right, so we've come through town. That was pretty cool. It's hard to turn the bell. You have to press the bell twice to turn it off. That's kind of weird, but neat stuff. I suppose we're probably still at the same, yeah, oh, 10. I guess we're going a little bit over the speed limit. Whoops. We've already derailed. We haven't even just begun to drive. We've just begun. I don't know the route yet, obviously being new here, but I'm going to learn it real fast. Really nice scenery, though. Like I said, it's really got cool towns. I think that is it's either Allegheny or Monongahela. I'm not sure which. It's one of those Pennsylvania rivers. I'll tell you what, this architecture, I've been to Pennsylvania many, many times. It's nearby where it's nearby, and this is they have a lot of. This is what it looks like. I mean, the architecture, the bridges, everything. This looks like Pennsylvania. Those buildings. It's a very, very Pennsylvania feeling map. So I think that gives you a good idea of some of the cool stuff. There's, you know, a lot of speed restrictions. People were complaining. That is the one thing that people have complained about on this route, is that there is a lot of like 10 to 15 mile an hour speed restriction zones. I hate when you don't have another camera angle. There's a way to change that. I just don't remember how. Oh, well, what can you do? But anyway, that is, I think, a good look at what we've got here. And like I said, it is a neat part of Pennsylvania, and it is definitely Norfolk Southern Country. So let's go ahead and take a look. Go ahead and take a look at Horseshoe Curve and have some fun over there. Now, Horseshoe Curve comes with this EMD GP7 Penzi, and it also comes with an EMD F7 Penzi. And then once again, we have the SD45s that we can run on there. I'm sure there's other ones you can buy that do too, but these are the ones that run on there. So let's take a quick look at the first engine that comes with this kit. All right, so they're giving us a little panorama of the what? Emergency, emergency. Alto Tire 9678, there's a fire at Rose Tower. You're in the closest engine. Previous orders are annulled. I need you to clear the immediate area of all stock before the fire gets out of control. Let's see. It's so funny. It's like a full-on. I just want to drive the train so we can see it, but you can see some of the cabooses. Obviously, they used cabooses back when this was going on. So basically, we have a similar engine to what came with the Union Pacific thing. Can I just say thing? Oh, Lord. Once again, I'm not a train expert. Please don't come on this video and think you're going to see a train expert, because I'm not. I just like trains. They're fun. I like trains. So we are on the Horseshoe Curve route. I don't know where they want us to go, but we're going to Rose Tower departure. Ah, there's a... Yeah, because this will save everything. Anyway, this is not the scenario I wanted to show off the thing with, but we've had a bit of an accident. Yeah, obviously not a train expert there. But anyway, this is a gorgeous set of engines here. Check this out. And once again, we used to be able to control and switch the... My guy died. But anyway, I can't, for some reason, I can't change the cars. Once again, I don't know what the keys are to do it. I'll have to read the directions again before I do more of these reviews, because that is annoying not to be able to change it. But you get an idea of what this engine looks like, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the other engine here. So hang on a second. I like these little scenario intros because they kind of give you some tour footage. And they're manipulating the camera in cool ways. Wish I could figure out how to do this in this game. I can do it in Train Sim World, but this is neat. We get a vintage GP9 high hood. And we're in the GP9 with our single window. Man, what a view these guys had. It's what a pain. All right, so there's one rolling by. Look at that. Can't open the windows in this train. Sometimes you can open the windows and stuff, but not in this engine. It's so cool. Yeah, that's because it's Train Sim World. Where do they want us to go? West Advance. It's ahead of us, it looks like. So we're going to put the forwarder on, the reverser. Slowly mosey our way forward. So once again, this apparently is supposed to take place, I would say, 1950s, right? If we have a GP, the GP9s were built, I think, starting in like 1950 or 48 or something like that. So 1,500 horsepower engine. And really kind of the first of its kind as a road diesel. GP7, I guess, which is what we're looking at. I'm sorry, not GP9. So yeah, GP7 would be, yeah, like late 1940s, early 1950s. And then the GP9 was the next step. So I wonder if there was like a GP5 or like a GP3. You know what I mean? Like you never hear of a GP3. Other odd engines, like I've seen a couple GP20s out there, kind of up by where my mom lives. They used to have there's a Ford plant, and they used to have a GP20 with a chassis system paint scheme that would switch the cars in and out of the Ford dealership. It was pretty cool. But this is just a really cool engine. Back when engines were black, because, like steam engines were black, so they figured, well, we'll just make the diesels black too. They didn't really come out with like cool, crazy paint schemes until later on, Actually, this is kind of green, isn't it? I think we're supposed to couple to these cars, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's more about looking at the train than the... There we go. Cool. And they want us to stop all the way, so we'll put that brake on. This is the train brake I'm putting on. Love the way the engines have different numbers and stuff. Like they give us several different number boards to work with, and that's cool. Once again, one of the things I love about Train Sim and Train Sim World. All right, this is Ted. Ted's our friend. We're ready to depart. Okay, you can proceed. All right, so I think we need to reverse now, right? Ooh, that sounds good. And once again, the camera. There we go. Now we got a cool camera angle. Thank you, whoever made this layout, for putting that in there. I need cool camera angles for my videos. Because who wants to look at a crappy camera angle? Speed limit's 15. I almost cracked it right there. I hit 14 really quick. So there's more American freight routes. Once again, there's a bunch of freight routes on sale right now. So if you're into freight trains, there's a. I saw the Canadian map was on sale, the Canadian Mountains map, and I think that one was. I want to say it was $9.99. There's just a whole slew of routes that are on sale right now, and the routes are great. I think that's the best. If you're going to invest money in train sim, you know, unless you like today where you can get the engines for like $2. Engines for $2 are definitely worth it. Engines for more money, and a lot of these engines, you know, they charge like 19, 20 bucks for. It's not worth it at that point. But for $1 to get an engine along with a route that it goes with, that's not a bad deal. So once again, the SD45 high hood goes along with this route. You can check interdependencies, sort of. It's hard to figure out what goes with what. You know, I kind of bought them hoping they would work, and they did, except for that SD40-2. I'm going to have to return that one because I can't use it, but I'll return it from the store. But I wanted to get this review producing first, so yeah, there you go. So if this is the Horseshoe Curve in, and I believe it's the one that's in Altoona, if I'm not mistaken, we probably are in. Oh, look, that's on the end of it. I didn't realize that. I'm probably supposed to be driving this engine and heading the other way, but who cares? We're having fun. Yeah, because that's putting that as the front of the engine, so we're going the wrong way. So we're headed to the empty end of the yard, but yeah, this looks like Altoona to me, which means that this is going to curve up into the mountains and go through the Horseshoe Curve, which is the whole point. So we'll take a look at the Horseshoe Curve here in a second. I'll be right back. Look at this, folks. We have permission to departure. I think these scenarios are made up from, anyway, it doesn't matter. So there's our Norfolk and Western high hood GP45. Not exactly the highest res model there. A little bit disappointing in the resolution and scale of this, but it's pretty cool anyway. And here we are in the hills of Pennsylvania. Once again, I think this route's going to prove to be cool. I've been to Altoona before and up, like I said, and up into the mountains. And it's pretty neat to be able to be on this route and doing this. So let's go ahead and get into. Oh, and by the way, back when they had the Norfolk and Western, a lot of times when these engines first came out, they ran them the long hood front like this, like a steam locomotive, which is odd to us nowadays, but back then that's how they ran them. And so anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Let's go ahead and get into the cab. And what a bad view, but whatever. So we need to, we're clear for depart. We've been cleared to depart. Front headlights. I can't even make it as weird as it was. Instrument lights. I don't think rear headlights dim. Put the reverser forward. Power idle. Where's our number board switches? Are they up there? Okay, I can't even reach those. Maybe if I go on the other seat. Glass lights. Number board lights. I don't know what the platform lights, I don't know what the glass lights are, but somebody I'm sure watching the video will tell us. And once again, I am not a train operator. I like to say that because once in a while I get somebody that comes on here and says, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You know what? You're right. I'm playing a game. I'm here to have fun. We're sliding backwards, I'm fairly sure. Okay, brakes back on. We're going to have to bail off at 3 or 4. And I'm putting the sander on. This is really the wrong way to start, but the horn sounds a little weird. Oh. Maybe the train headed the other way. I just press the Z key again. I'm going to change that key binding. Son of a biscuit. We just got started, man. I'll be back. Well, I guess you can hear the engine start up, right? You can hear it trying to start up. I wonder why those lights are red. That's kind of weird. And is the engine set to off right now? Engine off. Yeah, it's off. Probably. Thanks, honey. Sad. Turning the glass lights off. Class lights. Class lights. That makes sense. That's why they were red. Okay. They should be white now. Yep, they're white now. See? So the class lights, if you're on the end of the train, you're going to stick that light on so that people know that you're at the end of the train. So those are off. It didn't say glass, it said class. Oh, the throttle's at 60. Reverse is 100%. Dangerous way to start the engine. I failed in so many ways. Here we go. Shut up, honey. She's about to fall on the floor. She's laughing so hard. Oh, I've got the nerve, babe. I've got the nerve. What, babe? Right. Thanks. Okay. Any better camera angles? Yeah, there we go. So once again, it's low res. I mean, this is the problem that we run into with Train Sim 2020. It's as high res as it gets for like 1990. This game like way outlived what it should have lived. And the same thing goes for Run 8. Now, Run 8, though, once again, they offer things that Train Sim World just doesn't offer. So they're still viable games, even though, you know, and once again, it also goes to prove that it's not all about the graphics. I mean, you can still have fun playing this game even though it doesn't look as good as Train Sim World. And in some ways, like I said, it does a lot of things that Train Sim World doesn't. Like an actual freight train that has more than 10 cars. A route that's longer than 20 miles. You know, it's... Well, that was an interesting sound. I wonder why it's doing that. Is that you? The train's making some thumping noises. So this engine is pretty low res compared to the other one that we looked at, the Dash 7 series. These SD45s are not very high res, and they don't match the quality of the Pennsylvania rail engines that were on this route to start with either. So we're dealing with some low res stuff right here. I don't mind it though; it's still cool to have a high hood engine, but I wish they had a little bit better looking one. I might return this one too, just because I don't know that I'll ever use it if it's that low res. But it gives you an opportunity to see, hey, do you like it? These look like they were ported right out of Microsoft Train Simulator from, 2001 or whatever. 2005, I think it came out. Can you look that date up for me, honey? What year Train Sim, the original Train Sim came out? Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. But anyway, they're not great looking. But the route is. I really like the route. In summer and spring and fall, it'll look gorgeous. And this is really what it looks like there. So try to pop the throttle up a little bit higher. See how we're already at like 80%. No wheel slip though. And let's take a look here and see what their speed limit is. 15. So that'll boost up as we get around the curve here. So we didn't actually see the curve. I know it's going to be a bit of a disappointment, but I don't want to make this video too long. We're already at like 30, 40 minutes, so I want to go ahead and put a lid on it. But we will definitely take another look at this route too and do a more in-depth review. Once again, I was just kind of showing you what I got on sale today. So Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, we're looking at the Norfolk and Southern high hood Big Sevens. We're looking at the Norfolk Southern coal route. It's called Coal District. And then we're also looking at the Horseshoe Curve, which is this is a really nice route. And it's near Sandpatch. So for those of you that have CSX Heavy Haul for Train Sim World, this is the same tracks, I believe, that go all the way down through there. So I think it's all connected to Pennsylvania. And then, of course, you know, the coal district's in Pennsylvania, too. So we have a bunch of Pennsylvania routes now. And then we also saw the high-hooded GP45 that we're looking at right now. So have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe. We definitely will be doing more Train Sim and Train Sim World content. As my channel grows, I am getting free content now from Train Sim World, so I will be continuing to do reviews of their products as they come out. We have a new switcher coming just around the corner for the San Jose route, or the Peninsula Corridor, they call it, on Train Sim World. That's coming out pretty soon, and we will also be doing a review very shortly, maybe even today, on the Baby Bullet train for the San Jose route. So have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and we will see you next time on Train Sim World. Good night.